What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of Smart Money Sundays. It's your boy Aiden, and we're going to cover our typical pairs, that being Euro USD and cable, all right, GBP USD. All right, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. We had a we had a relatively disgusting week on Euro. Okay, if you're following it, which I hope you are, if you're following it, you would know that this was our range the entire week. Okay, so it wasn't ideal, at least in terms of a higher time frame perspective. Okay. Nonetheless, obviously, those of you who are in our VIP service, obviously, we did about 15 to 20%, depending on your entries and where you took partials, etc. Obviously, we had a phenomenal week with the VIP service. So congratulations. Happy returns to you. I'm super happy for you. Obviously, with our VIP service, we aim for 5 to 10% a week. Okay, and so of course, some weeks we have an exorbitant week and exceed that expectation, and of course, some weeks we fall short of that, and that's just part of trading. Okay, and they all kind of equal out and average out to our normal goal of 5 to 10% a week. Okay, so again, like I always do, I like to emphasize the long-term and relaxed and patient perspective on trading. Okay, think about all your friends and family who are only making 7% a year in the equities market. Okay, cost averaging in their little 401k or IRA. Okay, so always remember that and keep that in perspective. All right, but nonetheless, like I said, we had a relatively disgusting week on Euro USD. Okay, and if you remember from our prior episodes, obviously I didn't do last week. I was busy, wasn't able to do it. Nate did it, but we were looking at kind of playing off this price action in this wick on EU. Obviously, we ran through it, and that's okay. It just happens. We're in an enduring downtrend, and naturally we want to play off a structure. Okay, and so the lower time frame price action within this wick, I was looking to play off of. Now, of course, price decided to run it. Okay, we had this nice, beautiful sponsorship candle running through this old high. Okay, and you see the immediate reaction back down after running through the high. Okay, we didn't sustain, we didn't consolidate and break and retest and all of that lovely stuff that's taught in textbooks and continue. No, we ran right through it, full body candlestick, okay, and ran right back down. Okay, and so as I've spoken about for many weeks, my bias still has not changed. Okay, I fully expect this low to be run. I fully expect these lows to be run as well. Now let's go down to the 1 hour. Okay, and to me, obviously we have this relative double bottom here. That's going to get destroyed. Thank you. And we have these, this consolidation block here. That's going to get destroyed as well. And to me, this is just simply not a low in the market. Okay, I want to see a consolidation in a higher time frame POI and a final manipulative run and then break of structure. Okay, for me, this was obviously we've been talking about for quite some time. This being our POI, I wanted to see price sustain around this level for a while and then a manipulation and continuation, a reversal and a break of structure and a continuation of trend. But what I'm reading right now is that, we're not quite ready at the moment. Okay, and to me, so we're going to run these lows, in my opinion, and we're going to come back down into our higher time frame POI. That's just, again, my opinion. And, it could be subject to change. We could obviously continue up in this short-term uptrend. As you know, you could potentially classify this as a break of structure and looking for a new high. Okay, but in my opinion, we just aren't ready yet. And I think we're going to run these lows, and ultimately, I think we're going to run this low. Okay, and after a lot of experience in the markets and smart money trading, you get to a point where you look at something like this after an enduring downtrend. Obviously, hop out to the higher time frames. After an enduring downtrend, okay, and that's not even all. We've been trading down for quite some time, since May of last year. Okay, and so with an enduring downtrend, I need convincing price action. I need it to convince me that we're ready to reverse trend. Okay, and to me, just personally, this is not a low in the market. This is just not a low. Okay, I've read enough price action, and we teach it in our advanced course, in our smart money course, which I highly recommend. To me, this is not a low in the market. Okay, and so we need to make a new low in the market. We need to print more price action and convince me that this massive downturn we've been in for a year is over. Okay, and so obviously with last week's price action, it's not pretty. This was last week's price action right here. It's not great. It's not ideal, and that's okay. It's okay. This is our preferred pair. We will be patient and wait for opportune setups, and we will trade intraday setups, which we have been, even counter trend. And VIP, if you're in it, obviously we've been catching high RR intraday setups within this range, but ultimately, Smart Money Sundays is about the higher time frame. Okay, where are we actually heading? And to me, it's again to the downside. It's going to be running this low right here. Especially this low. Ultimately, I believe this low as well. Okay, so I want to see 108.40 again on Euro USD. And you can see the manipulative price action within this full body candlestick to the upside running this liquidity here. Okay, so big up close, an immediate reversal down to the downside. You can see the sensitivity here where I've drawn my purple line. You can see the sensitivity back down to the downside. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this thing just spill on over through this liquidity here. Okay? Because that's, at the end of the day, where's the market heading? It's heading where the liquidity is. Okay? Aerial effects, our number one priority is teaching the logic behind liquidity principles. Okay, where is the liquidity? Where is the liquidity resting? Where is price seeking the liquidity? Okay, and in my opinion, this is going to be below this low. Okay, ultimately these lows. So I would look for opportunities to continue to buy the dollar and short this pair. All right, so let's head on over to the pound. All right, and if you've been following this series, you know that I did indeed call out 1.3 as a potential reversal point. And sure enough, what did we get? 1.3. I mean, you can see it right here. We got a reversal from 1.3. But again, am I convinced? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And again, we traded into an old POI that I've pointed out to you all in the past here. These old lows, these old weekly lows, which we traded into and had a nice reversal from. Okay? And so, again, in an enduring downtrend, are we in an enduring downtrend? I would say so. At the moment, we're on the 4-hour time frame. Okay? an enduring downtrend, is this really a low in the market? And again, we teach principles in our Smart Money course, and you would know, is this really a low in the market? Okay? Is this a low in the market? No. In my opinion, no. Okay? Am I 100% accurate? Again, no, I'm not. But in my opinion, this is not a low in the market. Are we going to take this out? Yes. Okay? And so having run up into old structure here, old weekly lows, having run up with a manipulative linear move back on down, I think we're going to go ahead and take this old low out, at least by a few pips. Okay? And so lower time frame, yes, we are in an uptrend at the moment. We're in an uptrend. No doubt about it. Okay, so we're going to need to break through this level here. Okay, this down close that ran this liquidity trade into this wick. We're going to need to break through it, and then we'll be good. We'll be good to take this thing on down. So ultimately run this low out. Okay, and then maybe we'll look for a reversal. Okay, but until then, I'm looking for, again, shorting opportunities on GU. All right, but again, we are bullish. We are bullish on the lower time frame. So, you know, by all means, of course, it can respect this level and make a new higher high. It could. It very well could. Okay, just because we traded into a higher time frame level here, I believe that's going to break through, and then we can break and retest and continue down. All right, but again, that's going to be subject to change and how the markets present price action to us throughout the week. All right, so that is GBP USD. Now let's quickly touch on Aussie dollar, and then we'll head on to one of my setups for the week, at least based upon weekend analysis. Okay, and Aussie dollar, I believe, ultimately will head on down into discount. Okay, and if you fib this move, this is the weekly time frame. We have not achieved even equilibrium on the weekly. Okay, this is 50%. This is equilibrium. I think we need to achieve that before another expansionary move. Okay, and this is really where our sell-off, sell to buy, occurred. Okay, this price action right here. So 6680 is where I ultimately expect AU to go. Now, if we hop down to the daily time frame, obviously this is our structure, our last lower high that produced our last lower low. We're trading back up into this. Okay, and on the daily time frame, we had a fib move, low, high, low 78.6, negative 27 has been met. Okay, trading into this structural point that traded into this wick here. Obviously, there's lower time frame structure that we're not going to go into on this call. Okay, but following the mitigation train, supply, supply, supply. All right, and so honestly, I would not be surprised if these highs were ultimately taken out. Okay, but we actually then maintained structure. Okay, and so I would not be surprised if we actually ran this high and then died. Okay, that would not surprise me. So be on the lookout for that. Although we have fulfilled our fib extension on the negative 27, I wouldn't be surprised if we ran through this liquidity here, okay, and maintain this structure here. Okay, but ultimately I'm expecting more downside on the Aussie dollar. Okay, and again, you know, it's Smart Money Sundays, so we're just kind of going over a higher time frame where we're looking at, you know, where is our objective on the higher time frame. All right, so that's AU, and then finally, I want to go over CAD JPY. I do firmly believe this thing, obviously the yen pairs, guys, they have been on a tear to the upside. Straight full body candlesticks on the weekly. Okay, and I think this one is heading up into supply, quite simply. Okay, there should be nothing stopping this. Obviously, here's where we close Friday. There should be nothing stopping this up until this point. Up until this weekly up close candle. Nothing to stop it. Okay? And so until we reach that point, we should be looking for buys. Okay? Logic. All right? So 2 hour time frame. Obviously, this is our most recent structural point. So we can certainly look at this as a POI for continuation. Up into our POI. Preferably, I would like to see this thing come on down and do our down close here. And one final manipulative push up into 99.60 for our ultimate move back down to the downside. All right, so make sure you mark off these 2 levels on your charts and be monitoring time and price. I can't emphasize time and price enough. Very, very critical and important. We teach it in depth in our Smart Money course. The times of day you should be looking for reactions and mitigations in POIs, especially London Open. And again, we give these pointers out in depth in our Smart Money course, so I highly recommend taking that so you have full confidence in your setup. All right, so this is it for Smart Money Sundays. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you mark these levels off on your chart, and I hope you have a wonderful week trading. If you're interested in joining the community, feel free to message us on Telegram at ArielFX Trading or on IG at Ariel__FX, and we'd be happy to get you involved in the community. All right, thank you.